Well, welcome back to Buckeye Brainiacs Bowl on BCSN, brought to you by Owens Community College. I'm your host, Mason Lowry, delighted to continue play in round two. TSA, they were dominant in their round one matchup in North Baltimore. They eked one out in the final round over Northwood. I know these two teams are raring to go, as are you folks at home. But before we kick off the buzzing round, let's meet the teams.
Caleb Dyer, senior.
Neil Hinkle, junior.
Noah Vanlerberg, junior.
Levi Vanlerberg, freshman.
Aiden Tatum, freshman.
Adeline Reynolds, freshman.
Ryan Donaldson, senior.
Elijah Longacre, senior. Liam Rogel, junior.
Oliver Terry-Timmons, junior.
Owen Close, freshman.
Welcome to the Buzzin' Round. In the Buzz-In round, both teams will have their buzzers in hand. Teams buzzing in and answering correctly will receive 10 points. If they answer incorrectly, they will lose 10 points. Good luck.
All right, I know you guys are ready. Buzzers in hand? All right, let's do it. Your 3 minutes begins now. Remington's Bronco Buster depicts what animal being ridden by a cowboy?
Horse?
TSA.
Would that be a horse?
It would be a horse, indeed. 10 points for TSA. Shipping containers and floating buoys at what location were deemed illegal and were ordered to be removed in 2023? Anyone? It's the U.S.-Mexico border. What former Republican presidential candidate was a prisoner of war in North Vietnam for 5.5 years? TSA.
John McCain.
John McCain is correct. AABA quatrains called Rubai make up a poetic work by Omar Khayyam written in what language? TSA.
Persian.
Correct, or Farsi. What actor won the 2015 Best Supporting Actor Oscar for his role as Terrence Fletcher in Whiplash? North Baltimore.
J.K. Simmons.
Correct. Name the soft form of carbon that is used as pencil lead. North Baltimore.
Graphite.
Correct. Ben Bernanke oversaw the aftermath of what event as chairman of the Federal Reserve? North Baltimore.
2008 recession.
Correct. I'll accept that. 36 of which substances responsible for changing a protein's binding affinity for oxygen in the Bohr effect are named after Norman Good and resist changes in pH? Anything?
Noble gases?
Sorry, buffers. Gavin Newsom chose LaFonza Butler to fill what woman's vacant Senate seat? TSA?
Kamala Harris.
Sorry, no. Dianne Feinstein. Prior to winning the presidency, Bill Clinton was the governor of what state? TSA?
Arkansas.
Correct. What South American country's capital is Montevideo? TSA?
Uruguay.
You are on a roll, my friend. That's correct. Of the 4 major tournaments in men's golf, which one did Tiger Woods win first? North Baltimore.
U.S. Open?
Sorry, no, it's the Masters. William Shakespeare used what metric line in many of his plays and sonnets?
Standard. The standard.
Looking for iambic pentameter. What longtime host of The Price is Right died in 2023 at the age of 99? Anything? We'll move on. It's Bob Barker. Dutch is the official language of what South American country? TSA.
Would that be Suriname?
Yes, it would. Well done. What Allen Ginsberg poem begins with the line, I saw the best minds of my generation destroyed by madness, starving, hysterical, naked?
My generation?
The title is Howl, unfortunately, but nice try. What synthetic element symbol is TC and has...
Technetium.
Correct. That's time. Well, another very close game in what's been a series of them. North Baltimore and TSA tied up at 30. We'll have the volley round for you right after this.
Buckeye Brainiacs Bowl on BCSN is presented by Owens Community College. Your success starts here. Apply today at owens.edu. Buckeye Brainiacs Bowl on BCSN is presented by Owens Community College, home to Northwest Ohio's #1 nursing college. Welcome to the volley round. The volley round, the first question goes to the team with the lowest score. If they answer correctly, they are awarded 10 points, and the next question goes to the opposing team. If any team answers a question incorrectly, the opposing team gets a chance to answer that question and still receive their question. Good luck.
Well, it's still close, but not quite as close as we thought. We do have one scoring change to give to you. TSA should have had 20 points rather than 30. That means that TSA, 10 points behind, they get the first crack at the volley round. And remember, North Baltimore, be listening to this first question carefully. If they do not answer correctly, you've got a chance to steal. All right, the 3 minutes begins now, starting with TSA. E pluribus unum translates to what in English?
Out of many, one.
Out of many, one.
Well done, correct. North Baltimore, The Boy and the Heron is the most recent film by what legendary animator?
We don't know.
TSA?
Hayao Miyazaki.
You got it. TSA, in what board game might you win second prize in a beauty contest, winning you a cool $10?
Life.
Sorry, no. North Baltimore?
Monopoly?
You got it, Monopoly. North Baltimore, in higher education, what does the acronym HBCU stand for?
Higher base core unilateral.
No, sorry. TSA?
Historic Black College.
Or university.
Or university.
I'll give it to you. Historically black colleges and universities, but
Okay.
I'll consider that close enough.
Okay.
TSA, what former governor of Massachusetts lost the 1988 presidential election to George Herbert Walker Bush?
Dukakis.
Correct. North Baltimore, what vegetable is called an aubergine in Commonwealth countries?
Potato.
Sorry, no. TSA?
Eggplant.
You got it. TSA, the national championship of the three-wall variant of what sport is played at Lucas County Rec Center every year?
Hurling.
No, sorry. North Baltimore?
Wall ball?
Close but not quite. It's three-wall handball, and you can see that every year on BCSN, by the way. North Baltimore, at the end of what novel does George shoot Lenny?
Of Mice and Men.
Correct. TSA, what U.S. president's first language was Dutch?
That would be my
Van Buren.
Correct. North Baltimore, what country changed its name to the Democratic Republic of the Congo in May of 1997?
Zaire.
Correct. TSA, what rodents native to the Andes Mountains are known to have the densest fur of all mammals?
Guinea pigs.
Sorry, no. North Baltimore?
Alpacas.
No, it's the chinchilla. Cute little guys. North Baltimore, the Huckleberry Hound Show and the Flintstones were early successes for what animation company?
The Flintstones Incorporated.
No, sorry. TSA?
Disney.
Hanna-Barbera. TSA, reigning for 43 years, who was the longest reigning king of the Babylonian dynasty?
Hammurabi. No.
No, sorry. North Baltimore?
I'm butchering this, but Nebuchadnezzar.
Nebuchadnezzar.
Thank you.
I'll give it to you. You got most of the syllables right. North Baltimore, in horse racing parlance, what does the acronym OTB stand for?
Over the bar.
TSA?
Off the back.
Off-track betting.
Oh.
And that's time. And it is still very, very close. I like this. We're seeing more and more close games lately. TSA with a 10-point lead on North Baltimore. Still half the show to go, including the lightning round. That's next.
Buckeye Brainiacs Bowl on BCSN is presented by Owens Community College, home to Northwest Ohio's #1 nursing college. Buckeye Brainiacs Bowl on BCSN is brought to you in part by Unison Health and the Mental Health and Recovery Services Board of Lucas County, reminding you that it's your time, your choice. Welcome to the Lightning Round. In the Lightning Round, each team gets 3 minutes to answer as many questions as possible. 10 points will be awarded for each correct answer. This round will begin with the team that has the lowest score. Good luck.
Well, another close game. Time for the lightning round. North Baltimore, you trail TSA by 10 points. That means you have the floor for the next 3 minutes. Answer as many questions correctly as you can. If you don't know it, pass. I know you know this, but I can't pass for you. You've got to do it yourselves. Are we ready? Mm-hmm. All right, your 3 minutes starts now. What two words refer to the left and right sides of nautical vessels?
Aft.
Port and starboard. The Kemp's Ridley, loggerhead, and hawksbill are types of what reptile?
Lizards.
More specific?
Gecko lizards.
Sea turtles. What American author of detective fiction is best remembered for books like The Maltese Falcon and The Thin Man?
Pass.
Dashiell Hammett. In American law, what kind of plea does a defendant enter when they do not admit to a criminal act but accept that they could be found guilty?
Guilty plea.
No, it's an Alford plea. Miles Prower was the original name of what sidekick to Sonic the Hedgehog?
Knuckles.
Tails.
It is Tails, correct. The U.S. Declaration of Independence states we hold these what to be self-evident?
Truths.
Correct. What Pacific seaport is the largest city in eastern Russia?
Vladislavsk.
Vladivostok.
Thank you.
I'll give you that. What American illusionist shares his stage name with a novel by Charles Dickens?
Pass.
David Copperfield. Which composer's works include the musicals Into the Woods, Sweeney Todd, and Assassins?
Pass.
Sondheim. What city outside of Cleveland shares its name with an ancient Greek mathematician?
Athens.
It's Euclidean geometry, and the city is Euclid. Polydor, Atlantic, and Death Row are all examples of what kind of entertainment company?
Pass.
They're all record labels. What William Golding novel sees characters like Ralph, Jack, and Piggy stranded on an uninhabited island?
Lord of the Flies.
Correct. Name the Wisconsin-based fast food chain whose signature item is the Butter Burger.
Culver's.
Correct. What word describes both light-colored hair and a county carnival?
Blonde.
Fair, what we're looking for. A triple word score is a feature of what board game?
Scrabble.
Scrabble is correct. What American author wrote 6 novels about the character Harry Rabbit Angstrom?
Pass.
John Updike. The boiling point of what liquid is 212 degrees Fahrenheit?
Water.
Correct. Zinedine Zidane, Yannick Stopyera, and Michel Platini are all soccer players from what country?
Brazil.
France. In the summer of 2024, it was announced that Lewis Hamilton would move from Mercedes to what Formula One team in 2025?
Ferrari.
Correct. Hassenpfeffer is a stew made with the meat from what animal?
Boar.
Rabbit. On the periodic table, what element symbol is SN?
Pass.
Tin. Although there is no evidence that he actually said this, the phrase, "there's a sucker born every minute," is attributed to whom?
Pass.
P.T. Barnum. What word is defined as of doubtful authenticity, although widely circulated to be true, like the previous question?
Propaganda.
Apocryphal. What is the hardest substance in the human body?
The bones.
Enamel of the teeth. In 2024, the University of Southern California, UCLA, and the University of Washington moved their sports teams from the Pac-12 to
Big
what?
Ten.
Big Ten.
Big Ten.
Big Ten is correct. And that's time. You guys ran into some good questions there. You're up to 160 points, and that means TSA's got a little bit of work to do. They need 80 to catch up and tie this one. You ready? I think they're ready. Your 3 minutes starts now. Thanks to the Netflix series Stranger Things, who had a hit in 1985 and again in 2022 with the song Running Up That Hill?
Kate Bush.
Big fan, correct. The songwriting duo Morrissey and Marr led what influential 1980s British indie band?
The Smiths.
Correct. What holiday names a type of calendar marked by doors containing a small gift for each day?
Christmas.
Advent.
Advent is correct. Michelangelo's David can be found in what Italian city?
Florence.
Correct. What compound reacts with a carboxylic acid in a Fischer esterification and whose isopropyl version is used to disinfect equipment?
Alcohol.
Correct. Dr. Pangloss's assertion that we live in the best of all possible worlds is taken to heart by what protagonist of a satirical work of Voltaire?
No idea. Pass.
Pass.
Candide. Name the vice president under Bill Clinton who lost the 2000 presidential election to George W. Bush.
Al Gore.
Al Gore is correct, all in unison. What test, created to give attention to sexism in fiction, asks whether a film featuring two women talking to each other about something other than a man?
Pass.
It's the Bechdel test. In what city did Rosa Parks' arrest spark a bus boycott?
Birmingham.
Sorry, Montgomery. What hockey team who has retired the numbers of Maurice Richard, and Jean Beliveau has won the most Stanley Cup titles?
No idea. Pass.
Montreal Canadiens. UMBC beat the University of Virginia in 2018 in the biggest upset in NCAA tournament history. What does UMBC stand for?
Pass.
The University of Maryland, Baltimore County. What Chinese-American cellist founded the Silk Road Project?
Yo-Yo Ma.
Correct. What school's only Heisman Trophy winner was dual-threat quarterback Robert Griffin III?
No idea.
Pass. Pass.
Baylor. The boll weevil ravaged what product which named a form of diplomacy used by the Confederacy?
Cotton.
Cotton.
Cotton is correct. Name this American author who described a candle that burns at both ends in her poem First Fig.
Pass.
Edna St. Vincent Millay. What director included helicopters playing Ride of the Valkyries in an adaptation of Heart of Darkness?
Nolan.
Francis Ford Coppola. Name this 7-day festival during which Jews eat in temporary huts.
No, I don't know.
Yom Kippur.
Sukkot. What 1852 convention in upstate New York, organized by Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Susan B. Anthony, addressed women's suffrage?
Pass.
The Seneca Falls Convention.
Yeah.
What river that empties into Chesapeake Bay? What river empties into Chesapeake Bay, which Washington, D.C. lies on?
Potomac.
Potomac is correct. What French author of The Imaginary Invalid also wrote about Orgon's family in Tartuffe?
No idea. Pass.
Moliere. What position played in the past by George Brett and currently by Nolan? That's time. The answer was third base. This is one of our most fun and entertaining games of the season. You guys both ran into some questions that you really liked, and as a result, 4 minutes will decide this one. TSA up 170 to 160 on North Baltimore. Doesn't get more entertaining than this. We'll be right back.
Buckeye Brainiacs Bowl on BCSN is presented by Owens Community College. Your success starts here. Apply today at owens.edu. Buckeye Brainiacs Bowl on BCSN is presented by Owens Community College, home to Northwest Ohio's #1 nursing college. This is the final challenge. Now it's time for the final challenge. Teams will once again have their buzzers in hand. Any team buzzing in with a correct answer will receive 10 points. If the team that buzzed in answers incorrectly, the opposing team gets a chance to answer that same question and gain 10 points. Good luck.
Doesn't get much better than this, guys. 170 to 160 TSA with the lead on North Baltimore. It's all to play for in these next 4 minutes in the final challenge round, which is brought to you by Unison Health and the Mental Health Board of Lucas County. Remember, if the first team that buzzes in does not get the answer correct, the other team can steal. Deep breaths. Ready to go? All right, 4 minutes starts now. What philosopher used the example of a beetle in a box to argue for the impossibility of private languages in his treatise, Philosophical Investigations? North Baltimore.
Socrates.
Incorrect. TSA?
Voltaire.
Sorry, it's Wittgenstein. Following Matthew Perry's arrival to his country, what ruler took power from the Tokugawa shogunate?
Meiji.
Meiji is correct. That's 10 points for TSA. What composer wrote the Pastoral Symphony and Moonlight Sonata? TSA.
Beethoven.
Beethoven is correct. Name the largest island in Narragansett Bay, which is home to Newport and lends its name to America's smallest state. TSA.
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island is correct. What trio has released hits like Bootylicious and Say My Name and was headed by Beyonce until they broke up? North Baltimore.
Destiny's Child?
Destiny's Child is correct. The Supreme Court ruled that prosecutors in what state could prosecute Dolly Mapp with illegally obtained evidence? North Baltimore.
Georgia.
No. TSA?
Virginia.
Sorry, right here in Ohio. Heracles slew what king as part of his 8th labor? Anything?
No.
Diomedes. An artist that used a crown motif, Jean-Michel Basquiat, worked in what art medium?
Graffiti.
TSA? Graffiti is correct. What story in which a man robs a woman who steals hair from corpses was written by Hyonosuke Akutagawa and titles a murder mystery film by Kurosawa? North Baltimore.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
No. TSA?
The Three Samurai.
No, it's Rashomon.
Okay.
Artificial weed selection can cause the Valivolvian type of what phenomenon whose Batesian type involves harmless species imitating dangerous species? North Baltimore.
Mimicry.
Mimicry is correct. What sequences called gambits when they sacrifice material are followed by the middle game and end game? North Baltimore.
Chess?
Be more specific.
Standard chess?
Sorry, no. TSA?
Queen's Gambit.
Sorry, chess openings, broadly.
Yeah.
Chess openings.
Okay.
Douglas MacArthur led an invasion of Incheon during what military conflict?
The Korean War.
Korean War is correct. Little quick on the buzzer there before the question's even begun. Rural populations were isolated in locations which Noam Chomsky dubbed virtual concentration camps during what war's strategic Hamlet program? North Baltimore.
Vietnam.
Vietnam is correct. Wind Cave is located in what state's mountainous southwest, along with Custer State Park and the Crazy Horse Memorial? North Baltimore.
South Dakota.
Correct. What ruler lost the Battle of Actium along with lover Mark Antony? TSA.
Cleopatra.
Correct. Name the title character of a Johann Goethe work who falls in love with Charlotte despite her engagement to Albert.
No.
Nothing? Young Werther. Jeremy Bentham first proposed what circular prisons in which a central guard may secretly watch? North Baltimore?
Pansepticon.
Sorry, no. TSA?
Panopticon.
Panopticon is correct. Name the legislative body of ancient Rome.
The
TSA?
Senate.
The Senate is correct. What river flows through the Hoover Dam and Grand Canyon and shares its name with a U.S. state? North Baltimore.
Colorado River?
Colorado River is correct. What events exemplified by Facebook's disastrous one in May 2012 is the first time a company sells stock on an exchange? TSA.
Nope.
Sorry, North Baltimore?
Call option?
It's an IPO or initial public offering. What Japanese author wrote about the geisha Komako and her visitor Shimamura in Snow Country?
No.
Genji.
Say again?
Genji.
No, sorry. Anything?
Kenji.
No, Yasunari Kawabata. And that's time. Boy, TSA, you pulled it out. That was an excellent final round from both teams. TSA, you've made it through the first 2 rounds. How does that feel, guys? Very good. Really well done. Expertly played game by both TSA and North Baltimore. We'll have more round 2 next time on Buckeyes Brainiacs Bowl, powered by Owens Community College. Bye-bye.